Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest. That's where you register. Then one winner and a guest will receive game tickets, hotel accommodations, autographed memorabilia, and more. You can register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. This is the Buzz Williams Show, and we are at Rudy's 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. What a week that was for Texas A&M basketball. With Kentucky in at Reed Arena on Wednesday, that was full. To Bud Walton Arena on Saturday, that one was full. Two very different experiences. Two fantastic games that go down to the final shot. One of them goes into overtime against Arkansas. And with Buzz Williams, the head coach, first of all, howdy, my friend.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, what a week, Buzz. Your thoughts through that week, how your team handled the situation at Reed, how your team handled the situation in Fayetteville.
Yeah, good question. For the week, I thought there was a lot of positive growth. We did a lot of good things. Probably at the front of the list would be the togetherness and the grit that we showed against two really, really good teams. I don't think that we started great at Arkansas. 20-4 is hard to overcome regardless of who you play. But the fight and the tenacity that was shown from that point to only be down 4 at half, I think is what it was. And then to play better in the second half than we did categorically in the first half. A lot of special situations unfolded throughout the course of the second half into the end of regulation through overtime. So for a team lacking the experience that we had, we got a lot of reps of a lot of different scenarios. The ambiance was incredible, great environment. It always has been. That's our third time there. I think it's been sold out every time that we've played there. They are our mirror opponent, and so we weren't able to play them twice last year. But, yeah, I thought for the week 3 of SEC play, there was a lot of positive growth.
Focusing on Saturday, you had a number of guys and number of combinations playing in that second half. You made a run. Every time Arkansas tried to pull away, there was an answer, sometimes with a different 5. Buzz, it's one thing to throw some players out non-conference. This was in the guts, the crux, the fire, however you want to call it. They responded for you, didn't they?
Yeah, I agree completely with that. I thought 4 was really good. I thought Marcus was not good. Haas was just okay. Between Marcus and Haas, that was 12 of our 19 turnovers. It's too high of a turnover rate to some degree to overcome. More possessions, obviously, because it was an overtime game. I think it was 79 possessions, but 19 of those obviously were turnovers, and 10 of those 19 were live ball. They're a fast team. The biggest priority in preparation for Arkansas was transition defense. We were stellar, but it's just so hard on a live ball turnover to get back in transition. That ended up being 10 of their points in transition. So you're right in what you said. You know, we played Marcus and 4 there together for a little bit. Henry did not play as well as he had in the previous 5 games. I thought Ethan played arguably the best he had played since he's been here. Boots was really effective, particularly on the glass. Our guards have to continue to do a better job on the glass. We need more guard defensive rebounds. We're making progress. We just need to continue to make more. But there were many attributes of what we knew would be important that our guys did an outstanding job.
You talk about Boots. I don't know how a 6'2" guy does it, but 11 rebounds.
Yeah.
You just can't discount. If he's around the ball, he's going to come up with the ball. He has a knack for rebounding, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just positionless. But hence the nickname, he's just so tough. And However you would describe it, he's 6'2", he has a +9 wingspan. He's a slightly better than average athlete, but you can't quantify how hard he plays, how tough he is, and the nose that he has for the ball. He typically doesn't accrue his rebounds because the ball is in his area. His 11 rebounds on Saturday, 8 of them were out of his area to go get the ball. And, he's not, because of how we played defensively, he's going to end up being all over the floor guarding multiple people within a possession prior to the shot. A lot of times, the bigger players are the better rebounders to a certain extent because they're always closest to the rim. But within how we play defensively, specific to Boots, that's not the case. He may be guarding on the rise of the shot, the point guard. And so to some degree, depending upon who shoots the ball, he may be the furthest Texas A&M player away from the rim. And so to be able to get 11 rebounds, some offensive, some defensive, whether he shot it, didn't shoot it, his guy shot it, his guy didn't shoot it defensively, to always be around the area in which the ball is going to miss, that's you can't, there's not a stat for that. But to be able to be in the mix and come up with 11 in a game where there's not going to be a lot of clean rebounds, that's why it was hard to take him off the floor.
He's Buzz Williams, and this is the Buzz Williams Show, and we have much, much more to talk about from last week and preview the coming week. Stay with us. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Basketball and barbecue lovers know the perfect brisket needs the right wood, and Rudy's smokes all their meat using their delicious signature rubs in 100% oak-fired pits. Get your real Texas barbecue fix today at Rudy's or on the web at rudys.com. We continue with the Buzz Williams Show. The Aggies 15-4, 4-2 in conference play. In Baton Rouge on Wednesday, back home against South Carolina. Beat the hell out of breast cancer night on Saturday at Reed Arena. I want to continue talking about that Arkansas game, if you don't mind, Coach. One, Haas comes up big time and time again. My feeling, when he lifts for that shot, I'm surprised when it doesn't go in those moments. Buzz, there are some players, they run from those moments. So they don't want to fail, so they don't even try.
Yeah.
Haas wants the ball in those situations, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not going to back into anything that requires huge guts. He wants to be in the front of the line. Whether that's to take a shot, it's easy to see it offensively, particularly with the success he's had at the free throw line and the big shots that he's made. But he's running to the front of the line for big guts defensively as well. And he's doing the same thing in the huddles during a timeout, and he's doing the same thing at halftime. He's not he's built completely on what winning is about. And it's a pure winning. It's not – sometimes guys want to shoot the shot to be a hero, and I get that. He wants to shoot the shot or guard the best player to get a stop because he wants to win for Texas A&M, not for Hassan. And so it's a very unselfish, pure, I just want to win. It's hard. He's making big shots and playing double-digit minutes, not teens, double-digit minutes. That's hard to do as an athlete, but it's not hard to do when you're built on the right things. I think the thing that hurt us, and he's done a much, much better job since Vegas is probably the best way to analyze it. His turnover rate is distinctly lower. The 4 turnovers he had against Arkansas, not that he has to play perfect, but we don't need him to have that level of turnover rate. Not putting it on him. We don't need Marcus. Marcus going into the game was top 5 point guard in the league in assist to turnover ratio, has dramatically improved in how hard he plays, particularly defensively. But he's so good with the ball in his hands. But when he gives it up 8 times and Haas gives it up 4 times, 2 guys that are primary ball guards in what we do, regardless of the minutes played, that's difficult. That's too many. They both understand that. But as far as the moment and wanting to be a part of the moment, Haas is pure in wanting to be a part of it.
If you had told me that going into Saturday, Wade Taylor IV had only played 18 college games, yep. Dr. Thornton and I always joke when we watch him, whether it's shooting, free shoot around, practice, anytime. We believe. Yeah. He is just – the moment never seems to be too big for him either.
Yeah, he could be an extra in Ted Lasso. Like, he believes in all that stuff. And you don't have to write it on a piece of duct tape and hang it on the door and turn it into one of the greatest series ever. Like, that's just his spirit. That's who he is. That's not who he is because he's at Texas A&M. That's who he was in summer ball. That's who he was in high school ball. And I think I've talked to him a little bit about this in the first semester. I picked him up from class and spent 15 or 20 minutes with him one day just riding around in my truck on the way back to his apartment. And I said, when did you become the leader in high school? And he said, well, it was kind of hard when I was a freshman because there was a lot of old kids on the team and they didn't want to listen to a freshman. And I said, yeah, so how can we get it to the point where now that you're a freshman in college, we don't give that year away? I said, I've got to put you in position and you've got to be aware of opportunities in practice, in a game, where you can not only say what a leader should say, but do what a leader should do. Because I think you're going to have an incredibly bright future here, not only on the floor, but off the floor. Because our people that are followers of our program are going to fall in love with you. They just don't know it yet because they don't know who you are and you're not playing heavy minutes. But we can't give away the reps that are going to be required for you to be that leader. And I think over the last 40 days or so, he has taken advantage of many opportunities. And when he doesn't, I've called him out just between me and him. Hey, man, you just missed that one. He's like, oh, I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, I know, but you have to think about it. You have to think about it nonstop. Because if you're going to be the quarterback, it doesn't mean the ball has to be in your hands. It means you're the quarterback of the emotional state of the team, of the program. What does the team need? How can you help? How will they listen to you whether you're on the floor or off the floor? And Haas has a lot of that same quality. Dre has that quality. He just doesn't always know how to articulate it. Henry has that quality. It's just hard for him to have that example all the time because he wants to play well and then say it. But you've got to be able to say it even when you're not numerically playing well. But everybody recognizes that your spirit is in the right place. And 4 is fun to watch. Like, I would be a fan of 4 even if I wasn't 4's coach because I think the pace of the game changes whether the ball is in his hand or not in his hand. He brings a level of pace change, but he also brings a level of peace. And normally those don't correlate. Like, hey, let's play faster. Don't shoot that. But like when he shoots, you have to know at Kentucky, he may miss them. He may miss the transition 3 to put us up 3 at Kentucky. But on the flip side, he may make it on the road at Arkansas, and you're like, And so you can't coach someone whose game is like that and whose spirit is like that because it's mixed messages. Hey, 4, play. We want you to play, and I trust you. If you got the ball, I trust you. If you don't have the ball and you're on the floor, I trust you. If you don't have the ball and you're not on the floor and you're sitting over here on the bench and I don't know where you are, I trust you. And he has great belief in himself, but it's an humble belief. It's not an arrogant. You don't see him doing all of the silliness when he makes a big shot, particularly as an 18, 19-year-old freshman. You don't see all of that. You see him going, what's next? And I think you saw that again on Saturday. Like, he's a hooper. Like, I don't think that he has, like, I could be wrong. I don't think he has 19 girlfriends. I don't think he looks at Instagram 4 hours a day. I don't think he's sitting in his apartment at 1 o'clock in the morning playing video games. Like, he has an old soul, and he was raised by two old souls. And so, like, his life is probably what you think a 19-year-old student athlete's life is like. And he enjoys that. And he's worked to have that. And so he doesn't celebrate that he's here. He just enjoys that he's here. And he has a hunger to find a way to improve.
He had 25, which is an Aggie high for him, career best in his 19th game for Texas A&M. Aggies against Kentucky and Arkansas last week. We'll keep revisiting those, and we'll continue with the Buzz Williams Show. Stay with us. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Not everyone is a morning person yet, but with Costa Vida's new breakfast tacos, everyone will be. Try our bacon, egg, and cheese, or specialties like the machaca beef and egg, or sweet pork, egg, and cheese. Stop by our drive-thru any day from 7 to 10:30 a.m. Order online through the Costa Vida app or the website. Become a morning person at Costa Vida. We continue with the Buzz Williams Show. We are at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. Aggies getting set to take on LSU in Baton Rouge on Wednesday, and home on Saturday against South Carolina. Beat the hell out of breast cancer. Uniforms were debuted. If you like the whites with the maroon, you're going to love the whites with pink. They look fantastic on what is always a special game. And that is against South Carolina, but first it is LSU. Before I get to those games, Buzz, you use a word that I've been asking your players about, and I think it's a huge word in sports, not just basketball. Trust. I think trust is a huge word. I think you have to have trust for teammates, and you talk about it. You've got to earn that trust. But I think your student-athletes trust you and your staff, and I think you and your staff trust your players. I think that leads to success. I can't quantify the number of wins, but I think it leads to, if nothing else, a winning attitude and that winning spirit that you always want.
Yeah, we could talk about that for a long time, so I'll try to be succinct. I think there's only 3 words inscribed in our practice facility, and it wasn't planned. It was the first day that I met with the team, the day of my press conference. And one of the guys who never actually played a game at Texas A&M, had known me since he was a kid, and he asked me in the film room, "So, Coach, tell me what you're really about." And I said, "Love, work, and trust." And I said, everybody has a different definition of each, and I would anticipate that my definition of each of those words would be a little different, with some similarities of everybody in the room. So I'll teach you the definition of what those words will be for us. Love, true love, not love. True love has no agenda. And that means that my love for you is not based on how many points you score, or if you're the best player or you're the worst player. It has to be true love. And the agenda is not for you, and the agenda is not for me. There is no agenda. That's true love. Work, everybody has a different definition of work. And so without trying to scare you or threaten you or excite you, depending upon how you take it, every day will be a work day within our program. even when we don't play a game, even when it's an off day, every day is a work day in our program. And trust is delicate, but trust can only happen from conversation. Conversation together, conversation alone, conversation without me, conversation with me. But trust never comes before true love. And in my opinion, part of trust comes from true love and work. Because it's easy in a non-emotional way to say, I trust you. But that's not the type of relationship we're going to have, because every day is going to be a work day. So sometimes there's going to be good stuff. Sometimes there's going to be bad stuff. There's going to be things you disagree with me about. There's going to be things that your parents disagree with me about. Your coaches disagree with me about. So trust actually comes from, is a derivative of the work and of the true love. And I believe, this is my opinion, and I don't say this in an arrogant tone, I actually think it's the only thing that I take pride in, that I believe that I'm good at, is those conversations. I do not have a problem telling a recruit the truth, a parent the truth. I don't have a problem telling the truth before a game, during a game. If the truth is good, if the truth is bad, and that's where I think sometimes it's a hard line. The truth is impersonable. It's not, well, if things are good, I'll tell you the truth, and if things are bad, I'll look the other way. And I think that's where so many leaders get in a bind, is they allow the best player to have a different level of truth versus the walk-on who's held to a different standard of truth. And you can say that a lot of times that comes from their work. I think the truth is the truth. It doesn't mean that it's good or it's bad. It means it's the truth. And so I know last year was a unique year because of the pandemic and all that we went through, and I understand that I'll be judged in accordance with all that transpired relative to our record and all of those things. I do think we were going in a great direction to close down year number one in many respects, on and off the floor. But from whatever that was, March the 14th of 2020, for 18 months, we were not able to have what I think our program is built on. And so much of our programs have been built on the intangible things. True love, work, trust. Everybody has a different idea of what those things are. And for 18 months, we couldn't be together and have those conversations. We couldn't be together every day and do the type of work that I believe is required. And when you can't work every day, and when you can't have those conversations every day, nobody actually believes that there is true love, because they're all interconnected. And that's why those are the only three words that are in our facility. And as I tell our guys all the time, when your friends call and they go, hey, what was boot camp like? You realize you can't really articulate it. And when your parents call or your AAU coaches call and they just watch the game and they're like, man, you guys play so hard. How do y'all do that? Like, what are y'all doing in practice? You're not going to be able to explain it, because it's each of those things, true love, work, and trust. It's the combination of that on an ongoing daily basis. And somebody asked me earlier today about how do you identify for or Haas or Aaron, who pick any of them. And I told the answer to my question was, that's one thing that offends me as a coach, is contractually, if you look at my contract at A&M or anywhere else I've been, the assistants are not only well taken care of financially, they're well taken care of in every possible way. Because Rock was the first coach I ever met as a freshman in college. I was 18. I'm 49 now. Devin's been with me 11 years. He was a manager when I was hired at the University of New Orleans. Lyle's been with me 10 years. I hired him as a GA in year 5 when we went to the Elite 8 at Marquette. I hired TJ as a GA at Virginia Tech. Josh was a manager for us at Virginia Tech, and now he's in year 6. Beatty was a player for us and then finished up his career at Virginia Tech. I worked for Coach Lair as an assistant coach longer than I worked for any head coach in the country, and Coach has been employed on our staff at each of the places that I've been the head coach. So, like, if you go through all of our staff, and it's a large staff, but you see the relationships that I have, those people know 1,000% who I am. And so there is an unspoken example on a daily basis of what being a great teammate is that our players see from our staff. And I try to be the example of a great teammate in regards to the responsibilities I give to the assistants. So there's never questions when the players go, hey, Buzz, what about this? They already know who's in charge of that. And the player is asking the assistant coach, hey, coach, what about this? And that's because I remove my ego from it. The assistants know I can override it, if that's the word. And I try everything possible not to ever override it. But the players go, hey, it's his turn to shoot. Buzz is passing it. And over time of work, true love, and trust, the trust is built because they're seeing from the adults what we want them to be a part of. And so the connection, Buzz and the players, yep, you'll never have to question it. It's the thing that I'm best at. Not the best players, and I'm not the best coach, but I will have the best relationships because I'm going to give the most time of my daily itinerary to that. Not for their freshman year, not for 4 to score a bunch of points at Arkansas, but think of what 4's trust will be when 4 is playing his 70th college game. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, my goodness. And then everybody will go, wow, he's such a good player. No. He was a good player before he got here. Just because Twitter didn't say it, that doesn't mean he wasn't a good player. But a good player somewhere else does not necessarily translate to a good player here. And that's important in recruiting, particularly with the portal and how the rules have changed. Just because it worked over there, that doesn't mean that it's going to work here. And so that there's multiple decades of experience of those people knowing who I am. They do a really good job of identifying, yeah, that one over there, he will work here. It will translate here. And so we go about recruiting, I think, probably a little different than most, because on paper, there are many more talented players that are talented enough to play here, but they may not fit the foundation of true love, work, and trust. And it may not even be the child. It may be the adults that are around the child. Doesn't mean our kids are perfect. Doesn't mean they're the best players. Doesn't mean they're the best people. Doesn't mean they're the best students. Have never said that our staff are the best coaches, nor have I said that I was the best coach. It's the cumulative effect of all parts of what I just said. And when you add that up, and then you do it day to day to day over time. Last place in year 1 at Virginia Tech and Sweet 16. Yeah, was it the players? For sure, always. Was it the staff? Yes, for sure, always. But in truth, it was the players and the staff doing it over and over and over and go from 2-16 to the Sweet 16. It was preseason 12th here in year number 1, and we end up winning 5 out of our last 7 to go play what was scheduled to be game 1 in the SEC tournament. And if we win it, we're in the NIT playing Auburn, who we had beat at Auburn in the next game. And then an 18-month pause. And so I don't even remember what the question was, but that was not succinct. So I know it's time for a break.
He knows that. He is Buzz Williams. This is the Buzz Williams Show. Stay with us. We'll continue. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield. Make sure you join Texas A&M Athletics in this year's 12th Man Centennial Celebration at all athletic events. To submit your own video testimonials, download digital content, check out the giveaway schedules, buy merch, and be part of the celebration, go to 12thman.com/centennial. This is the Buzz Williams Show. We're at Rudy's 504 Harvey Road. They've checked in on Facebook, and I was very late to go behind the mic. Larry Basham says, very proud of the no-quit attitude of the team. Carson says, the team did awesome from the free throw line against Arkansas. Keep up the good work. I love the no-quit in this team. And Larry also said, I love that Coach Buzz speaks the truth about all things. They get you. They certainly get you. Because that's team rule number one. Right?
Team rule number one, always tell the truth, comma, no matter your emotional state, period. Secrets are lies. I got a lot of texts on the way home last Monday night, and then even into Tuesday, I guess people can listen to it after the fact, however that works. Yeah. I don't know, but I should have said last week when I was talking about Corey, she was here. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like I was saying all that I was saying, like, look at me, how strong I am. I'm talking about my wife. I mean, she was 7 feet away. And just so you understand, head coach in waiting, whether you're present or not, or you are the head coach, even though your contract you may or may not have a contract. She texted during the last segment, and I just looked at my phone, LOL, commercial break, LOL. That means I was not succinct, according to the head coach at Texas A&M. Goodness gracious, it was a good question. Sorry I went 49 seconds too long. Gosh dang, man. And she's not here tonight. And that's what I'm saying. Like, no matter where she is, do not have to attend practice if she doesn't want. Go on the road if you want. Go recruiting. No. Like, hey, Aaron has 11 rebounds against Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And this is no exaggeration whatsoever. After a game, you know that I'm kaput. Mm-hmm. And so if it's a home game, I talk to you and Coach. Mm-hmm. That's after I talk to the team. Walk from the locker room all the way back out there with you guys. And then say hello politely as if I have a lot of energy to everybody I see along the way. Then go to media, and I'm not complaining. Right. Then go to the print media, and I'm still in completely wet clothing other than the quote shirt. Then go to my office, then take a shower. If it's a win, there's some pizza that's cold by then. Take a shower, and then I look at my phone. And then eventually I pack up all of my wet clothes, and I got to drive home. So from the time the game is over until the time I leave the office is 90 minutes. And then it's 120 minutes after the game that I actually see Corey. But after a home game, I need to go to bed as soon as I can because it's going to take me 2 hours, 3 hours to read, look at the stats, take notes before I can calm down enough to go to sleep. So there's a process to landing the plane, quote. As I begin the start of trying to land the plane, she says, I'm literally putting my feet in the covers to start. The light's still on. I'm going to read. She has to go to sleep with the light on. She says, I told you in October Aaron was going to be really good. And I just looked at her. I didn't say anything. Sweetie, do you know it's going to take me like 3 hours to go to sleep and I got to be back in the office at 6 o'clock in the morning? I just wanted to tell you I told you in October. Oh, my gosh. Oh, yes, Coach. Yes, head coach. Okay. Thank you.
You know you're getting another text.
Oh, it's on its way. She's not here. She's listening, and she knows what I'm saying is 100% the truth.
He's Buzz Williams.
I guess we're going to another break.
Yeah, she's Corey, by the way.
Coach Williams.
Coach Williams.
I'm Buzz.
we have one more segment here at Rudy's. You know, you two, I love you, Steve. I love you, and you know we're not getting to these. So I'm going to hold them for the next show in 2 weeks. Stay with us. One more segment to come on the Buzz Williams Show. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield. Your number one source for the best gear for Aggie fans is 12thmanshop.com, powered by Fanatics. Visit 12thmanshop.com today. Find the latest gear from Adidas, as well as the complete 12th Man Centennial Collection. Final segment of the Buzz Williams Show for this Monday from Rudy's. Show number 10, but I knew you already knew that. I knew you
It's
knew that.
10. There is a countdown.
That's not here next Wednesday. We're going to be off to Knoxville for a game against Tennessee. In 2 Mondays, we will be back. This week, LSU on Wednesday, back home, South Carolina on Saturday. But to go back to Baton Rouge, that's the home of Boots Radford, also Jalen Johnson.
Yep.
And we're back in the state of Devin Johnson, right?
That's
right.
right.
A New Orleans guy. For those players, I know Jalen's not playing but getting yet another degree. But for Boots, that has to be exciting to be able to go back. He's going to have his own energy, but he also has that maturity to be able to channel that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's played in a lot of big games prior to coming here and has obviously played in big games already here. But it is, I do think that it'll be special for him. It'll be special for his dad, his stepmom, his mom, all of his family. Just like it is for his family to come to so many of our games, and H and all of that. So, yeah, it's good. It means a lot to Devin. I think Devin's done an incredible job recruiting the state of Louisiana ever since he has been in a recruiting position. I mean, he recruited Boots to Virginia Tech. And where Boots is from, relative to where Blacksburg, Virginia is, that's a long way. Yeah. It's almost the other side of the world. And so, yeah, it'll be fun. They may be the most talented team that we have played thus far. Their point guard has been hurt. That's kind of changed their team. He'll be back, of course, for our game on Wednesday. They put so much pressure on the rim. Off the bounce, getting to the middle of the floor. It fuels how they operate. Getting to the middle of the floor, getting your team in rotation, shoot a charged circle shot, throw it up to the rim to a phenomenal athlete, get an assist to a catch-shoot-3 guy. They're statistically the best defense in the United States, not just in our league. If you study the numbers, they have the best defense in the country. They're phenomenal on the defensive glass. They force teams into a very high turnover rate. And then their physicality and how they defend makes it really hard to score. So, in my opinion, it would be the most talented team that we've played thus far, and we will have to play better than we played versus Kentucky. I thought we played better in many respects at Arkansas than we did against Kentucky. We came up short in both of those. We'll have to even play better than we did at Arkansas for this game on Wednesday to be a game.
And to just look ahead generally, on Saturday, anytime you play a Frank Martin team at South Carolina, you better be tough.
It will be a fight from the start. It's not a beauty contest. It's not a basketball game. They will be, and I just mentioned it to Ross, they're the toughest team in the league. They're not the most talented team. Coach Martin's teams have always been a direct reflection of who he is as a person. He coaches the same way he lives. His life story is incredible, and that's how he coaches. And that's why he's been to the Final Four. That's why he's been to the Elite Eight at 2 different institutions, neither of which you would necessarily say are like annual contributors in postseason play. So we play the most talented team thus far that we've played on Wednesday, and we play the toughest team that we've played on Saturday. So that's week 4 in SEC play, 1 at home and 1 on the road.
Yeah, they keep coming at you, right?
Yeah, I think there's 6 more weeks, and we had a really good first 2 weeks, obviously. We had growth in week number 3, but as the weeks unfold, just like we play Saturday night, and just like you mentioned, we don't have the radio show next Monday. We're going to play Saturday night, and then we have to get back to work on Sunday because we leave again on Monday to play at another incredible place with the Hall of Fame coach, and they've been top 20 all year long. And so, it doesn't get easier.
It's just the SEC, right,
That's
Coach?
right.
It's just
That's
the SEC. Always a pleasure, my
friend.
friend.
Thank you so much.
He is Buzz Williams, head coach of the Fighting Texas Aggies. And as we mentioned, they will be at Baton Rouge against LSU on Wednesday. It's an 8 o'clock tip, 7:30 with the Dos Equis tip-off show. And then on Saturday, it will be the Aggies in South Carolina. 7:30 will be the tip at Reed Arena, and it is our Beat the Hell Out of Breast Cancer evening at Reed. That's always a special evening. Bobby Blackburn has been the producer of the Buzz Williams Show this evening in our Learfield studios, and it is wonderful to have Kevin Menchow back as our engineer. For Buzz Williams, I'm Andrew Monaco. We thank you so much for joining us all along the network, on the app, for joining us behind the mic on the Texas A&M Basketball Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you Wednesday evening from Baton Rouge. This is the Buzz Williams Show. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield.